Hey guys, Jack here. Thanks for watching the Great Gallivanting. I'm here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, and welcome to another Great Gallivanting Wayfarer Expedition Extra.
After over a month on the Camino de Santiago, I decided it was time to check in another Encierro. This time, I was headed to San Sebastián de los Reyes.
That's what it's all about. Nothing like a good Encierro to get the blood flowing in the morning. I really hope they caught that on video, because that bull, that was the closest I've been to getting taken out. Made my heart skip because all the steers came out far in front of the bulls, but still a good time. Now we're gonna head over to the Suelta.
San Sebastián de los Reyes isn't far from Madrid, and I could easily get there with the metro, which is why I decided to spend the week coming out here running with the bulls 5 times. Of course, the feria isn't all about running with the bulls, and like many cities, it has a Suelta, or vaquillas populares, where young men perform with bulls trying to show off their bravery in the ring. Here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, you have to get a ticket to go to the Suelta, but it only costs €4 at the ticket office, and you can get it before the Encierro.
So this is the Suelta de Reyes, also known as vaquillas populares in other cities. This is where these young men, these amateur recortadores, are going to try to perform with heifers and bulls that aren't going to be used in tonight's bullfight. So let's give it a watch.
A recortador is someone who participates in what is called a cutting competition. That's a rough translation that doesn't really go directly over to English, but it's the best that we can do. Cutting in front of the bulls involves running as close as you can to them without the horns taking you out. Some recortadores jump over the bulls, some fake them out and step to the side, while others perform on their knees. There are professional national level competitions that are held all across the country, but the vaquillas populares and the Sueltas, these are just local men proving their mettle. As I said earlier, these bulls won't be used in the bullfight. Here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, they only have one bull. The rest are young heifers. The fact that they are young and they're heifers doesn't take away from their danger. They may be young and they may be female. What they lack in the full-grown trained use of their horns like a toro bravo, they make up for with adolescent energy. More so, it is said that the Spanish fighting bull's aggression descends from its mother's bloodline, so the females are actually known to be more aggressive.
So I'm here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, a suburb of Madrid, where the second biggest Fiesta de Encierros, that is the Encierros that I run in Pamplona every year. This is the second biggest fiesta in all of Spain. This year is the 500th anniversary of the Encierros here in San Sebastián de los Reyes. So let's go check out the route.
The Encierro route in San Sebastián de los Reyes makes a lot less sense than in Pamplona. It's not a direct route to the bull ring, instead winding through the city streets.
So behind me are what we would call in other cities the corrales. This building's got another name, but it functions as the corrals. And that right there is the beginning of the Encierro. They lift up that gate and out the bulls come around this curve. And when you watch the videos, you can see that they come very slowly out of here. They very slowly round this corner because they're not able to get up to speed like they do in Pamplona or Cuello. And then they take off down this stretch and the speed starts gaining.
Once the bull makes that turn, they head towards the runners, who are staged about halfway down the road. There are no police officers separating the runners from the bulls, just a piece of police tape that's taken down just minutes before the run starts. But at least there's a cameraman to catch all the action.
Continuing up this first curve after the starting point, you have a gradual uphill. Now this part right here up to about this break in the road I'm coming to is a good spot for me to run, because that's where kind of the serious runners run, kind of like Pamplona at the very beginning. And a lot of the party goers are back here. It's also good because you can see the steers and the bulls coming as you come up this incline. You can kind of get a tell of how their mix is, and there's plenty of outs without a lot of people in the way because they've already started to run.
Now, I actually had a disagreement with the Spanish police on this one. They said they didn't want any new runners running in this spot because it was too dangerous, but luckily I wasn't a new runner, but I was with a few. I wasn't going to argue with the police though. When they insisted my compadres start in another place, I told them just move up past the curve.
So this curve, which is right behind me that I just showed you on the video, is what they call La Curva here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, similar to La Curva in Pamplona, where it's a hard 90-degree turn, although it's not quite as narrow as in Pamplona. The reason I'm behind these barriers here is because of all the music going on behind me, hoping not to get a YouTube copyright strike with it going on behind me. But this is where you hear people say on the street, you know, where are you going to run? Say, oh, La Curva, and you're like, oh, I can't believe you're going to run there. But, you know, it's part of the experience. Maybe maybe. Haven't decided yet. I'll start here in a day or two.
Spoiler alert, I didn't. I just ran at the front because I didn't want to get hurt before heading off into Turkey.
And this behind me is the last main stretch before the turn to the bull ring. This is where I personally have seen the most injuries the past few days, particularly along this route. Now, it looks to me that a lot of them are just hooks and drags to the ground, but that doesn't mean that they're not serious. And I have seen a couple of people taken off in ambulances. So no matter how much I tell you about the Encierros, how much I love them, they are incredibly dangerous. If you are not ready to take a chance, do not do it. That's a sign for the Children's Encierro, which I will get to in a minute.
This long stretch that I'm talking about is called the Estafeta. Now, that's not the street's name like it is in Pamplona, but that's what they call it.
And finally, behind me, you have the Plaza de Toros de San Sebastián de los Reyes, where the Encierro ends and where the bullfight tonight will take place. Right there. Now, this is not San Sebastián up in the Basque Country. This is San Sebastián de los Reyes outside of Madrid. That is an important distinction because they are two different categories of bull ring. This is a Category 3. The one in San Sebastián up north is a Category 1. Now, unlike in Pamplona, they close that once the bulls are in. They close it off, so you have to buy a ticket for the sueltas at the taquillas, which are just over there. They cost like €4. It's really quick to get in, cash or card. And then you can go in and see the amateur cortadores performing or attempting to perform with the bulls. Now, of course, you can't record the Encierros, but you can look them up on YouTube, which is where the PIP that's been playing this entire time is from.
But the fiesta in San Sebastián de los Reyes is not just for the adults and the runners. They also have activities for kids.
And just like in other cities in Spain, they have the kids bull run with the plastic bulls, sometimes they're very mache. These all have names, and they're going to do all, it looks like there's 6 of them all at once down this quite crazy busy road.
These children's encierros are different than those in Pamplona. In Pamplona, they have the Toro de Fuego that has the fireworks shooting off its horns. Here in San Sebastián de los Reyes, they have men and peñas running with plastic bulls chasing the children down the street. Personally, I love watching the children's encierros. It's so much fun watching these kids take part in this unique cultural practice. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a proponent of the bullfights, and I'll often say when it comes to things like this is something the anti-Torinos will never understand. Some kids even bring their capotes out to try their hand enticing these plastic bulls.
See, this is what the anti-Torinos don't understand. Kids like this and in Pamplona and Cuellar, they grow up playing matador, playing torero, playing encierro. It is not just a part of the town, it's a part of their culture. And while the anti-Torinos in the cities sit here and protest this very old Spanish tradition, here in the pueblos it is very much alive and not going anywhere.
But these fiestas aren't just about the bulls, no matter how much I want them to be. They have special events like cooking competitions, food stalls, flamenco, you name it. Like all fiestas across Spain, during the fiesta, San Sebastián de los Reyes sheds its rustic charm and embraces the festive atmosphere. They even put an electric bull in front of a church. What in the East Texas is going on here? Of course, as with most Spanish ferias, SANSE 2025 revolved around its religious festival. This is the city's main church, the Iglesia Parroquial de San Sebastián Mártir. It may be small, but it has an important history, as it was built in the 1400s by settlers from nearby Alcobendas. Of course, with Encierros comes bullfights, so I made my way to the town one evening to go watch Olga Casado perform.
So I'm standing outside the Puerta de Reyes, and this is where the toreros, the matadors, the novillera, Olga Casado, is going to show up with their bands tonight. They're probably still 20 minutes or so away, but all these people behind me are here to try to get a picture or an autograph or just to wish them luck. At tonight's bullfight, we have Jose Maria Manzanares, Pablo Aguado, and Olga Casado. Pablo Aguado was not originally scheduled, Morante de la Puebla was, but he received a cogida a few days ago, is injured, and won't be back in the game for another few days. Olga Casado, though, she is the reason that I am here. She is an up-and-coming novillera. That's kind of like the junior league or the minor league bullfighting. I've watched her online, she's done great, and I've really been looking forward to seeing her in person. So that's the entire reason I'm actually going to this bullfight tonight. I've seen Jose Maria Manzanares, I've seen Pablo Aguado, both great bullfighters, love watching them, but Olga Casado, she's the reason for me to be here. Hopefully, I'll get her autograph.
Unfortunately, like in Pamplona, but unlike in Madrid, the police blocked off the road so no one could crowd the matadors and the novilleros as they made their way to the Plaza de Toros. On the one hand, I could understand that because there were a lot of people here, but on the other, it's a third-class ring, and people are there to meet and greet their favorite matadors and toreros. Even though they're celebrities, most of them like to engage with their fans, shake hands, sign autographs, take pictures, especially with the kids, just like Pablo Aguado is doing here. I didn't ask for his autograph or a picture because I got it during my aficionado tour the year before, but it's still cool to be this close to someone who you know is going to be facing death in the ring later that night. This van belonged to Jose Maria Manzanares, a popular matador who comes from a bullfighting dynasty.
So I did get to see Olga Casado come in, but she was really being pulled along. She wanted to stop, but her team was like, no, move along, and the police were blocking the way. So no autograph, but that's okay. At least I'm going to get to see her live. I'm really looking forward to it.
I love the Spanish-style bullfight, and views like these remind me that I'm in my happy place. I once heard it said that the bullfight is the ultimate freedom. You can drink, you can smoke, you can talk with your friends, and we can all enjoy something we love together. I also really enjoy the third-class rings. Yes, the first-class rings are great and attract the biggest matadors, but the intimate feel of these small ruedos in front of die-hard aficionados brings a special Essence of Spain feel to it. Right as Olga Casado's first novillo, which is a 2 to 4 year old bull, was exiting the bullpen, it started to rain, and a lot of the crowd headed for shelter under the stands. That wouldn't have been allowed in a first-class ring, but this is a third-class ring and no one likes to get wet. But me and my compatriots in my section, we stayed put, because we were there to see this young novillera perform. I was immediately impressed with her work with the capote as soon as she engaged the novillo. She didn't have that same natural talent that Borja Jimenez has, but she had clearly trained hard to hone her skills. As I watched her position the bull to take on the picador on his horse, I was reminded of a scene that I had seen a year before when I watched her performing in a benefit bullfight. That was before she had debuted with picadors, but she had to work with picadors anyway. She was really nervous back then, but you wouldn't tell now. She executed it flawlessly. Her work with the muleta, the red cape that most everyone's familiar with, was also really good. It wasn't the muy atrevido roqueray the sixth sense of Borja Jimenez, but her work was still highly technical and skillful. For her work with the capote, the muleta, and the estocada, she was awarded an ear from her first novillo, and I got to go down to the barrera to throw my hat into the ring to her in celebration. She did just as well on her second novillo. If she played her cards right, I knew she would cut another ear and go out of the Puerta Grande alongside Pablo Aguado and Jose Maria Manzanares, both of which had already cut 2 ears. While her work with the muleta was certainly deserving, I knew that you couldn't celebrate too early, especially when you were the last performer of the night. A good estocada may not be able to recover from a bad performance with the cape, but a bad estocada can certainly ruin any great performance. The estocada didn't immediately kill the novillo, but that does happen from time to time. If she could pull off a descaballo, she would certainly cut another ear, which she did and earned the right to go through the Puerta Grande on the shoulders of her fans.
That's it for the Feria in San Sebastián de los Reyes. I hope you enjoyed this short video describing one of these small fairs that I describe as the essence of España. If you did, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing coming to you from the adventure across the world. And also don't forget to check out my Instagram, Snapchat, and Threads at JRT Voyage, the Facebook page, Jack Rogers, author, and of course the YouTube channel at The Great Gallivanting, and the website, www.jackrogers.com. And as the rain and the wind's blowing in, we'll see you guys on the road.